What's up, YouTube? I'm Brad from Rants, theorize. As always, guys, if y'all enjoy our content, don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a comment down below. We're on the road to 1,000. We hope you guys can help us get there. Alright, so, the question of the day. Was WandaVision destined to fail from the very beginning? I feel like it's kind of a yes and no on that. I really do. I feel like it's a yes and no, where that WandaVision was the phenomena that it was, how it had drawn all these different fan theories, and you got a lot of normies, not just Marvel fans and comic book fans interested in it, but you got a lot of normies that really was interested in Will. My wife was one. In fact, she gave me, I enjoyed watching the episodes with her because she gave me a completely different perspective of this show just as a whole than just me as a Marvel fan. That she could point out these little things that I could kind of get past my partisanship a little bit when it come to watching it with her, because she didn't know anything about Marvel or what had been set up before. She just was watching this show as this show, and she was trying to understand the little clues as they go. From someone's perspective that wasn't invested in Marvel and didn't know anything about it. And so a lot of her fan theories was a little bit closer than what mine were, and into what actually took place. And I'll tell you the reason why. You know, she didn't know anything about the Mephisto thing or the Nightmare thing, any of those villains. She thought from the very beginning that it was going to be Agatha that was going to be the main villain of the series. I remember she even told me about Quicksilver. She says it's just something about the way this is going. It almost kind of feels like he's somebody that is in the town or just really a nobody. And I was thinking, I was like, no, that can't be. He's either going to be the X-Men Quicksilver or he's going to be somebody that's important. And it turned out she was right. He was nobody. But even that being said, I kind of feel like Marvel kind of led us down a road where that the failure was kind of on them as well. Because, take the Quicksilver thing, for instance. We have speculated on that. Look, they hired the guy that played Quicksilver in the X-Men movies. And you cannot tell me that they did not think for 1 second that people are going to think, okay, this is going to be the connection to the X-Men that Marvel's going to have. And by putting that guy in there and then just making it where at the end of the day it was just a boner joke. That was his whole importance on the show, was just so that they could get in a quick boner joke. That pissed a lot of people off. They should have known that. Look, it's okay to kind of pick with fans to a certain extent, to divert their expectations, but don't pull a Game of Thrones on us. Don't build up anticipation just to give us nothing, or just to play it off as something so unexpected that we would have never saw it coming. No one would have guessed that it was a boner joke. That whole Quicksilver thing would have been nothing more than just one big boner joke. No one would have thought that. No reasonable person would think, okay, they're playing this up for a quick little laugh. Now, maybe if I was 15 years old, I'd think that was funny. And maybe if I wasn't invested into the Marvel franchise, maybe I would think that was a hilarious joke on their part. And I would think, well, hey, you know what? That's kind of brilliant in a way. But as someone that's a fan, it really was upsetting to me. It really was. I'll tell you another thing that was really upsetting to me personally, and I know to a lot of fans out there too, is it felt like WandaVision towards the end was just created to set up the movie franchise, the movies, Captain Marvel 2 and Doctor Strange 2. It felt like that was the only intent towards the end. I think the mid-credit scene at the end with Monica Rambeau actually kind of felt that way. I mean, when you have that scroll that comes in, and then they're like, the Captain Marvel 2 connection. I mean, there's those, and like I said, everything felt like everything in WandaVision was just setting up Doctor Strange 2. It felt like it wasn't trying to stand on its own, that it wasn't trying to be a great piece of art by itself, but instead just a promo for something bigger to come. I don't like movies that are that way. I don't like movies that set up other movies. I like movies that I can watch and enjoy on their own merits. I don't like filler episodes. I don't like filler movies. Those kind of things like that make me feel like, okay, I'm wasting my time. It makes me not have the rewatchability factor that I normally would have, like WandaVision. I remember just a few hours right before I watched the WandaVision series finale. I was thinking, you know what? I can't wait to rewatch this show and see if I catch some of the clues that they had posted out there. And after I watched it, I'm like, I don't even want to watch this over again. And I still kind of feel that way. I kind of feel like all the rewatchability factor that was once there is completely and totally gone now. And it's because it's not because it didn't live up to expectations. It was almost like they were basically, like I said, using WandaVision, basically just telling us that WandaVision is there simply to be a promo for, 2 movies. That's the way I felt towards it, and I was really, really upset about it. I feel like it was upsetting to me because I really fell in love with Wanda's character, with Vision's character, more so in WandaVision than I ever did in Avengers. I didn't feel really anything towards these 2 characters in any of the previous Marvel movies. But in this, I really felt a strong connection. I felt so bad for Wanda. And then, when you kind of use these characters that you fall in love with, and you feel like, well, they're only there to promote somebody else or something else, you almost kind of feel like those characters are being used and abused as well. So it just adds this added animosity as a fan towards Marvel that I don't think Marvel was exactly expecting. I think Marvel was thinking, okay, you know what, fans will understand that, these series are just there to hold us over to movies or to promote movies. But WandaVision was so much more than that. And I hope that Falcon and Winter Soldier is much more than that. I hope the Loki series is much more than that. But now, when I watch those 2 series, I'm going to be sitting there looking at this and going, you know what? Is this setting me up for the exact same thing? Am I going to get invested in these characters and these shows just so that I can find out at the very end that these characters that I love and I adore are just there to set up the movies? I feel like that's like a corporate. I would even go a step further to say, like it kind of almost feels like corporate greed. Where they get you invested in specific characters, and then they're like, this is just a McDonald's commercial. Here, buy McDonald's. Like that's kind of the way it kind of felt like, felt with this. I was really hurt. And I know a lot of fans were out there hurt by the ending, and a lot of people enjoyed it. And if you enjoyed it, that's great. I wish I could be one. I'm actually kind of jealous of people that really enjoyed this. It wasn't all bad. I was heartbroken, literally heartbroken, um, when the boys evaporated into nothing. When Vision evaporated into nothing. I mean, those were touching moments. When Vision cried, that was touching. That was really touching. But then at the end of the episode, I kept thinking, they didn't pay off the Senor Scratchy thing. They didn't tell us anything about the Darkhold. They told us WandaVision was destined to be something, but they didn't tell us enough of it. That she was destined to destroy the world, but they didn't tell us enough about it to get us invested in that. Then, of course, the Quicksilver thing was just a moaner joke. There was so many little things. Take even the Agatha. She she does that little hex on Agatha to make Agatha think she's just a nosy neighbor. Well, as soon as the hex is gone, that field that she's in, the hexagonal field is gone. Well, won't Agatha be free? Like, they never set that up. They never explain things very well. Things that really could have, if you would have given to all of those things, you could have explained all of those things in one scene, and I would have looked at you and gone, you know what? Yeah, I am a little bit disappointed by the Quicksilver thing, but you explain these other things, and I'm actually kind of excited about these movies. But they didn't go to the trouble of doing that, and that's where the fault lies with Marvel. Is one or two scenes could have changed that ending completely and totally, where fans wouldn't have felt so neglected. And like I said, we destined ourselves as fans of building all these different theories, um, to have failure with this series. But at the same time, Marvel was enjoying us doing that. Marvel was setting us up in that regard. I feel like Paul Bettany kind of set us up to think that there was going to be like a Doctor Strange cameo or somebody in there, a Xavier cameo in there. And then it turned out to just be him. Like, I kind of feel like you can mess with fans a little bit, but don't subvert their expectations to the point where they almost think that you're not taking them seriously as fans and human beings as a whole. I kind of felt like WandaVision did that, and I think WandaVision is going to suffer from that. And I also think that there's a lot of people that are going to be so upset about the ending of WandaVision that they're probably not going to want to see the Captain Marvel 2 or Doctor Strange 2, or even check out Loki and Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Like, I mean, there's fans that's going to be out there that's going to be like, you know what? And why should I get invested in series that are just going to be promos for movies in the future? Why should I get invested in those movies that I feel like ruined the end of a amazing show, that of characters that I got invested into, and that they just basically just used as commercial products, in a lot of different ways. So yeah, I think they're going to lose a lot of fans by doing it that way. But again, Marvel's Marvel, and they feel so confident in their brand. They feel like, I guess, they can do that kind of stuff. I don't think anybody's that big to constantly do fans that way and expect to get away with it for a long period of time. But guys, let me know what y'all think. Let me know if y'all think or what y'all's opinion is. Do y'all believe that WandaVision was destined to fail from the very beginning? Or do you believe that Marvel dropped the ball? Or do you believe that the ending was perfect and that WandaVision as a whole was a masterpiece? I would say almost a masterpiece. I will go so far as say that it was almost a masterpiece. Um, I felt something towards these characters that I have not felt towards superheroes in a very, very long time. I loved this show. I really did. And that's the reason why I was so hurt towards the end. When I felt like these characters weren't treated properly. And this show wasn't treated properly. This show that I love so much wasn't treated properly. Was just there to promote something else. That was the only reason for any of my tears and my sadness and my excitement and all of that for this show was just there to promote something else in the future. But guys, let me know what y'all think. That's my opinion on it. Let me know what your opinion is. As always, guys, thanks for watching. Y'all take care.